Good evening, this is Atmospheric Alex here with yet another severe weather outlook and discussion forecasting video here, as we are going to be talking about a potentially significant severe weather outbreak in store for portions of the plains into tomorrow. Yes, we are talking about potential for damaging, maybe even some destructive winds out there, along with many other hazards as well. Severe weather season is coming back into full gear. So we are currently taking a look at our weather radar and satellite imagery here for today in Texas. Why did I want to point this out? Because we are talking about another very significant flooding event here. We are talking about upwards of 8 to 10 inches of rain in some isolated locations today. I mean, at this point, really, I just pray for you all. I hope you all are staying safe out there. It has been absolutely a horrible situation, and it's just some of the videos I've seen. Houses floating down rivers of people inside, and cars as well. It has just been a nightmare, so I just really hope that everything gets better over time and we can get these flooding rains out of the way. Alright, and with that, we're going to move on to our Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook, and hopefully I am on the right scene this time. I love, zooming in, doing all these cool edits, but if I forget to change things, I'm not going to have them around, because it's getting ridiculous having to redo segments over just because I forget everything. We're going to be talking about a slight risk, a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here today with our new drawing tool here. Hope you like it a lot more. This is provided by WeatherWise itself, so it's, in my opinion, a lot better. But we're going to be talking about a slight risk for severe weather for Nebraska, Colorado, and Kansas today into tonight. We already have some severe thunderstorms popping up in those areas. We're expecting them to consolidate into a line or two with damaging 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and take a look at our risk here overall. Our tornado risk is very low, just at 2%. We have something down here from the remnants of Chantel, but I'm not expecting much out of that. Have had some tornado warnings today. A 15% hatch risk for wind. Winds could be gusting over 75 miles an hour out of some of our linear segments. And hail, we could see some 1 to 2 inch diameter hail out there as well. Now, as we go on into tomorrow, we are talking about a far more significant risk of severe weather with a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale down here. An enhanced risk is going to be in place. And what are the main hazards going to be with this enhanced risk? We're going to take a look at this here. You do have a 5% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of a given point, so definitely a bit of an elevated tornado risk. But our main risk will be wind, a 30% hatch risk for wind gusts in between 75 to even upwards of 90 miles an hour tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. So if you live in these areas, you need to turn your weather radios on high and set your emergency alerts on your phone, because it could be a very serious situation. Your hail risk as well could be seeing upwards of 2 to 3 inch diameter hail out there as well. Now, as we move on into day 3, we're not expecting much here, just 2 marginal risk areas. Could we see an upgrade to either one of these? Only time will tell. However, unfortunately, we do have a day 5 risk for severe weather. That's not good news at all, is it? We're talking about a large slight risk in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. Threats at this time are a bit uncertain, but we'll take a look at a more detailed model representation here in just a minute. So here we are taking a look at our HRRR model. This is what the radar could look like going into this evening. We're going to be talking about a ton of supercells developing across Nebraska, portions of Colorado, into Kansas. Just going to be a slew of everything. It almost looks like an enhanced risk for severe weather, but I don't think there was enough confidence to cause that to get issued. But look at all these storms here. Look at Goodland here, getting a nice little bowing area of damaging, maybe even destructive winds, moving on into around really 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time tonight, and just other segments of wind throughout the area as well. And that converges. Look at that. Looking a lot more serious, going to Garden City, Dodge City, Liberal, Kansas, going on into around 1 to 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. And again, destructive winds cannot be ruled out of 70 to 80 miles per hour. And this activity continues even going into Oklahoma before it dies out by 5 a.m. Now, since your actual severe weather ingredients are not coming together, we're going to take a look at our storm energy. Basically, another way to measure how severe these storms could be. The more storm energy you have, the more outflow you'll have, the more wind you'll be getting out of these storms, right? because cooler air going into hot air is going to cause a ton of wind. So as you can see, we do generally have upwards of 2,000, almost 3,000 Cape here, really to the north of these storms. So it is important to note that wherever these storms form is going to be pretty crucial, as there are some areas with lower Cape. And then really just 1,000 storm energy going into tonight. So your really, damaging winds are going to be a bit more sporadic with these linear segments. Now, how about tomorrow's risk? Because it could look a lot more significant. Talking about some strong to severe weather through South Dakota, like Rapid City, Pierre, Sioux Falls tomorrow morning. And as we go into tomorrow afternoon, we could definitely start to see some activity around Iowa and Missouri. Just a little bit of a sleeper event out here of some strong to severe storms around 2 to 6 p.m. tomorrow evening and afternoon. But we're going to be talking about our main damaging wind risk here, exploding on through Nebraska here and portions of northeastern Colorado. Look at that Boeing structure there of damaging to destructive 70 to possibly even 80 mile an hour winds pushing right on through Alliance, North Platte, McCook, Goodland here, going in at around 7 to 11 p.m. Central tomorrow night. And this just has that look to it, right? We're talking about a much more significant wind event. This is what you want to see here. A nice gigantic bow echo here. We could have other segments of storms. Look at this out here in Iowa, near Sioux City, Fort Dodge, and Omaha here in Creston. Maybe around, 8 to 12 tomorrow night. Timings are a little uncertain that far out. But you get the idea. More cells ahead of that main line out in Nebraska, and we do have some larger hail signatures near Omaha, Nebraska here potentially tomorrow night. Any supercells out ahead of the line would be your tornado producers and very large hail producers as well. This continues through Nebraska really all night. 8 a.m. finally moves on out. But as we switch our sector here down into Kansas, we're going to have a much more better look here at our line of storms. I can't speak today, I guess. Well, we're going to be talking about it here. Look at this gigantic bow echo of storms pushing on through Hill City, Hayes, Hastings, Garden City, Dodge City, going in after midnight tomorrow night with your 70 to 90 mile an hour winds associated with that. And believe it or not, this gains more steam as it hits even more storms. Medicine Lodge, Wichita. This is going to be a long-lived bow echo of severe storms here. So a long-lived area of 60 to 80 mile an hour winds. Could we see a derecho out of this? Not out of the question, but not likely. It has to travel at least 400 miles to get that rating. Can it happen? Absolutely, but it is definitely not likely. Here's your storm energy tomorrow. Definitely going to be talking about a good amount of it here, really. I'll look it up through here. I want to note this. Some splotches of 3,000 to 4,000 Cape will definitely be suitable for your destructive wind risk. Further south, though, it's only around 1,000 to 2,000, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Boundaries could increase storm energy as well. But all in all, a lot of fuel will be in place for significant severe weather. Now, as we take a peek through the rest of the week here, because our risks are a bit lower, right? We're going to look at Tuesday's risk here, and according to our NAM model, this is our low resolution NAM model, we could be talking about a pretty decent episode of supercells firing up along the Rockies, the Front Range here, where we could be talking about damaging winds, large hail, maybe even very large hail, and a tornado risk as well could exist with those cells. And they get pretty large going into Tuesday evening. And then we have other areas of severe weather out here for the Mid-Atlantic, out here for the Ohio Valley and the Mid-South regions here, and then stuff in Florida, but you're used to that. Definitely going to be watching out for those storms. Going on through into Wednesday here, just a large area of strong possible severe storms here for, pretty expansive risk. And then in your high plains, we're getting a little more active again. You could just see those supercells yet again breaking out. So supercellular storms are going to be likely across your Front Range areas for the next few days, it appears. Really starting on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Storm energy, we really don't have to take a look at this. You get it. A lot of it does exist here across even the southeast here. Upwards of 3,000 to 4,000 Cape in some areas. Just an overall summertime environment here. Above average storm energy for this time of year will promote a severe weather risk. duh. I mean, that's why we're talking about this. As we go on through into Wednesday, same song and dance. Definitely have a much more elevated risk here across your high plains into southern portions of Canada here. That could be a tornado risk there. And then look at Oklahoma, just some of your hot spots here of storm energy to point out. And how about after this? We're going to look at our European model here to give us more clarity. Potentially another significant event of severe weather is possible going on into Thursday across the high plains here. Moving on through into Friday, again, more severe weather. Saturday, again, more severe weather, shifting further south here into the southeast. Going on through into Sunday, same song and dance, and it just continues and continues and continues, and it really shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. It will change areas, but it's still going to be rather significant, and especially even going into mid-July. Again, maybe more significant severe weather events cannot be ruled out for your high plains, Great Plains, and going off to the east of that. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in to today's rather short video. I'm trying to keep these a little shorter now for attention span reasons. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to smash that like button, share this video with friends, family on social media, and subscribe to my little corner of the weather community if you wish. And also, look at this. Here we go with Tropical Storm Chantal. Here, your full radar and satellite loop. Quite impressive, must I say. 60-mile-an-hour landfall there in South Carolina. And then it continued up through North Carolina, sparking a ton of tornado warnings today. My goodness. With that being said, please stay severe and tropical weather aware. You know, especially severe weather aware, as tomorrow could easily uptrend into something far more significant, far more serious. And again, crank your weather radios on high, turn on your emergency alerts. Could be seeing up to 90, maybe even higher mile-an-hour gusts here across your Great Plains. And with that said, have a wonderful night, everyone.